What is Black nerd culture? Black nerds, otherwise known as blerds, are fans of different variations of comics, movies, cosplaying, anime, and video games. Black people are often looked over when it comes to this genre of entertainment. It is often that I can say that we are looked over in a lot of things in life.
Since the beginnings of nerd culture in the 1960s, black people have been making impact and creating iconic legacies for themselves. The 1960s TV show Star Trek was made to promote unity during the Cold War and Civil Rights Movement. The character Lieutenant Uhura was played by Nichelle Nicholas, who said Dr. King told her not to leave the show because she represented where black people would be in the future. In 1968, 1 year after the historic Supreme Court case Loving v. Virginia, Star Trek would have one of the first on screen interracial kisses between Lieutenant Uhura and Captain Kirk. Nichelle Nicholas said that during her time on Star Trek, she did receive some racist backlash, but she said that there was also a lot of support. After Star Trek, Nichelle Nicholas recruited one of the first black female astronauts for NASA. A more recent example would be Childish Gambino. He's an actor and a rapper who has influenced nerd culture in recent times by a lot. He started a campaign to be cast as Peter Parker in the Amazing Spider Man franchise. Although he wasn't cast, this inspired Michael Bendis to create black teenage superhero Miles Morales. Miles is Black Spider Man, and he is a successful character in his own right. With a box office hit and another one on the way, popular comics, games, toys, merchandise, all of it. Childish Gambino voiced Miles Morales in his animated debut.
Black folks and comics have an interesting relationship because, on one hand, black folks have been comic fans since the beginning, but on the other hand, there was not a black superhero for the first 50 years of comics, and even then, the first black superhero appeared in the first and only issue of all Negro comics in 1947. Even today, most superheroes are white, and upsettingly high amount black superheroes are sidekicks or a black version of a white superhero. But representation is representation, and with representation in comic books led to representation on the big screen. Multiple black-led superhero movies with epics like Spawn, Blade, and MCU's Black Panther, to the less epic Catwoman and Blade Trinity. Comics have led to more representation for black folks on TV and in movies, but most significantly, publicly portrayed black people with power, and the best ones leaned into the contributions of black superheroes to the black community. I think, weirdly enough, the person who said it best is comedian Roy Wood Jr.
Why do you think black superheroes only save black people? They're busy. They ain't got the time to save the rest of the world. That's a luxury that only white superheroes have. My neighborhood's great. What else is going on out here in the world? Black superheroes gotta focus on they block. I watch Luke Cage. Luke Cage is my show. Love Luke Cage. Luke Cage, if you don't know nothing about comic books or superheroes, Luke Cage is this TV show about an indestructible black man. The brother's bulletproof, super strength. He'll throw a truck at you like a football. You would think with his resume, he would be somewhere with Iron Man trying to save the universe. This motherfucker never leaves Harlem.
Over the years, black superheroes changed from something mostly for black nerds to something all black folks could enjoy and embrace, and created a new generation of black nerds.
The black nerd is a counter-trope to common black stereotypes in media. Most black nerds, or blerds, are usually seen wearing unfashionable clothing and having high intellect. Examples of black nerd characters include iconic blerd Steve Urkel from Family Matters, Missy from Big Mouth, AJ from Danny Phantom, and many more just to name a few. Although it's great to see more nuanced black representation in media, a lot of the time these characters get little to no character development. They lack their own personal storylines, and they're usually seen with no romantic interest, and oftentimes fall under the black token best friend trope. I believe that it's so important to have original, complex, multidimensional, blurred characters who are shown to have their own flaws and personality instead of being one-dimensional characters with no separate personality outside of their white counterparts. Example of the blurred trope done right is Craig from Craig of the Creek and Shuri from the Black Panther movies. Both characters are seen with high intellect while also having their own fleshed out personality and storylines. The positive representations show to the viewer that Black nerds can be themselves, while showcasing the Blacks' experience in a different light.